History feels orderly, a clear timeline of kings, battles, and discoveries. But the truth is messy, chaotic, and often brutal. History was survival dressed up as civilization. Take the Romans. They built aqueducts, conquered lands, and yet they cleaned their clothes with human urine because ammonia worked better than soap. Teeth were scrubbed with crushed bones. Perfume was not luxury, it masked the stench of daily life. Medicine was deadly guesswork. Bloodletting, draining a person's blood to cure illness, killed more than it saved. Children were sold into labor. Peasants rarely traveled more than a few miles from where they were born. Most humans never saw the ocean, and yet history survives selectively. Some centuries vanish almost entirely, leaving nothing but fragments of art or stone. Civilizations appear, flourish, and vanish mid-sentence. Female gladiators fought in Roman arenas alongside men, often to the death, but their stories were erased. Pyramids were built before wheels were common. History is full of contradictions, absurdities, and secrets. Disasters are edited too. Everyone remembers the Titanic, but almost no one recalls its sister ships, which also sank tragically. History remembers symbols, not patterns, and some customs defy logic entirely. In medieval Europe, animals, pigs, goats, even insects were put on trial for crimes. Society sought order, even if it meant assigning guilt to the wrong creatures. Ancient cartographers sometimes drew continents that hadn't yet been discovered. Some maps even hint at Antarctica before it was covered in ice. Religion, superstition, and survival dictated behavior. People feared tomatoes, certain stars, animals, and illnesses with equal intensity. Survival often meant doing the irrational, the cruel, or the impossible. Yet humans endured. They built cities, sailed oceans, and recorded knowledge. Small stories survived to shock modern sensibilities. Napoleon was once attacked by thousands of rabbits during a hunting expedition, a swarm that overwhelmed him. Strange but real. The medieval era was equally surreal. Peasants barely left their villages. Roads were dangerous. Bread was sometimes more valuable than gold. People survived on survival itself, inventing traditions that seem incomprehensible now. Tools and medicine were bizarre. Romans brushed teeth with crushed bones. Medieval Europeans used urine for cleaning and tanning leather. Ancient warriors drank fermented animal blood for courage. History wasn't glamorous. It was brutal, illogical, and unpredictable. Yet every strange law, bizarre custom, or forgotten invention tells a story about human ingenuity, desperation, and adaptation. The more we learn, the more uncomfortable it becomes. The past is a layered illusion, full of forgotten horrors, lost knowledge, and events that seem impossible. It shapes our present, in cities, laws, even food. History is not just lessons learned, it is chaos that survived. And sometimes, it whispers secrets so strange that they almost feel unreal.
We wake up every day assuming the world is simple. We step outside, breathe the air, see the sky, touch the ground, and we believe it will always behave the way we expect. But the world is not as stable as it seems. Time itself is moving differently across your body. Your head is aging ever so slightly faster than your feet.
A difference of nanoseconds. Tiny, almost impossible to feel.
But it exists. Time bends. It stretches. It slows down.
And it doesn't care about your plans.
Even the planet itself behaves in ways we rarely notice. There are over 3 trillion trees on Earth.
More than the number of stars in the Milky Way. Yet, when we look up at the night sky, we still feel small. Still feel like matter is everything. Still think we understand scale.
Clouds, those soft, harmless shapes floating overhead, can weigh over 1 million tons each. Imagine the weight above you pressing silently yet without consequence. Bananas are radioactive. Yes, radioactive. Not dangerous, but detectable. And some metals explode the moment they touch water. Life surrounds us, yet it ignores rules. Take the octopus, for example. It has 3 hearts and 2 stop beating when it swims. Movement exhausts it, and yet it thrives. Some turtles breathe through their rears during winter, a survival tactic that seems almost absurd. Jellyfish exist that never die of old age. Butterflies dissolve completely inside their cocoons, yet somehow retain memory of their caterpillar stage. Memory itself is preserved in liquid transformation. Even human constructs can't contain possibility. There are more possible games of chess than atoms in the observable universe. Reality allows more options than matter itself can provide, and yet humans cling to stability. We think the world is solid, predictable, safe, but it isn't.
It is merely familiar.
The mountains, the oceans, the skies, even the smallest cells in our bodies are constantly shifting, moving, bending in ways we can barely perceive. And as we walk through this world, we do so under the illusion of order. There are places on Earth that look normal, yet hide secrets. Deserts bloom only once a decade. Rain falls in diamonds in certain remote regions. Volcanoes flow beneath ice caps we thought were frozen forever. And below the surface, deep underground, rivers of molten rock and toxic gases continue without pause.
Earth does not sleep.
It watches, it shifts, it endures. And we are just along for the ride. Some truths are hidden not by conspiracy, but by scale. The universe is vast, our perception is limited. Every moment, unseen phenomena affect us. Gravity, radiation, electromagnetic waves, even the spin of particles in the air. The ground beneath your feet feels firm, but on a subatomic scale, it is a dance of particles constantly colliding, constantly changing. Even life itself stretches the imagination. Did you know that humans share about 60% of their DNA with bananas? That the same molecules that make up your body are found across stars, planets, and oceans, from the tiniest microbes to the largest whales? Life is connected in ways we barely understand. And yet, for all this strangeness, we go about our routines as if nothing is unusual. We eat, we work, we sleep, we dream, unaware that reality is far stranger than our minds are willing to admit. Some animals even seem to have knowledge we don't. Crows use tools. Dolphins recognize themselves in mirrors. Certain birds navigate across thousands of miles guided by Earth's magnetic field. Survival is encoded in them. Adaptation is natural law. And sometimes it feels almost supernatural. The more you learn about the world, the more fragile your sense of security becomes.
Every tree, every cloud, every planet, every cell, every heartbeat is part of a system far larger than we can ever truly comprehend.
Yet here we are, humans, thinking we are masters of this world, when in reality we are merely passengers on a constantly moving, endlessly unpredictable ride. And that's just the beginning.
History is full of surprises, but the world itself is even stranger. Beyond our cities and villages, beyond the maps and charts, there are places that defy logic. Places that feel like they shouldn't exist. There are lakes that can turn animals to stone, not metaphorically, but chemically. Entire towns burn underground for decades. Where coal seams or gas pockets continue silently beneath streets. Forests exist where every tree grows bent at the exact same angle, as if some invisible hand shaped them long ago. No storms, no earthquakes, just a permanent, inexplicable pattern. Some roads disappear daily, swallowed by shifting sands or hidden sinkholes. Waterfalls occasionally flow upward when the wind is strong. Some beaches are made entirely of broken glass, smoothed by centuries of waves. Other lakes contain chemicals so toxic they can dissolve human skin. In rare conditions, some lakes even appear to rain diamonds. Islands emerge and vanish, mountains remain unclimbable, and villages speak languages so rare that the next generation could be the last to hear them. Even with satellites scanning the Earth, large regions remain unexplored. Valleys, caves, and deep ocean trenches hold secrets we may never see. The Earth does not bend to humans. We must bend to it or perish. Yet life thrives in these impossible places. Deserts bloom once a decade. Plants lure insects and birds with mimicry so precise, it seems supernatural. Lakes hold creatures floating or swimming in ways that defy logic. Volcanoes churn silently under ice. Rivers of molten rock flow beneath the surface. The planet is alive, but it is indifferent, often terrifying, and always unpredictable. Humans sometimes stumble upon these places by accident. Explorers describe glowing caves, magnetic anomalies that disorient compasses, and mountains where gravity seems weaker. Some locations feel like fragments of dreams, others like warnings from the Earth itself, and perhaps that is the truth. The planet is older than us, more complex than us, and far stranger than we are willing to accept. Every waterfall, forest, lake, and mountain contains mysteries that defy logic, reminding us that reality is far bigger and more unpredictable than human perception allows. This hidden, often dangerous world exists alongside us. Every step we take, every path we follow, every city we build is surrounded by anomalies we can barely imagine. It is a living reminder that the Earth is not simply a backdrop for human life. It is a stranger. It's an older, wilder world that we inhabit only temporarily. And as we explore it, we begin to understand something profound. If the Earth itself is this mysterious, then perhaps the most astonishing secrets exist closer than we think, within ourselves. After exploring the strange and impossible landscapes of Earth, we realize that the most astonishing world is often the one closest to us, our own bodies. The human body is not just flesh and bone, it is a survival machine, constantly working against impossible odds. Your stomach can dissolve metal. Your bones are stronger than steel by weight. Your heart is so resilient that, under the right conditions, it could continue beating outside your body. Every second, thousands of processes occur within you, invisible and unstoppable. And yet, despite this incredible machinery, your body is constantly teetering on the edge of collapse. We shed millions of skin cells every hour. Our bodies host more bacteria than human cells. The immune system, while protective, sometimes attacks itself. And your brain, the supposed center of consciousness, lies to you constantly. It edits memories, invents details, and convinces you of things that never happened. Reality, in other words, is partially a construction of your mind. Stress physically changes your brain. Starvation forces your body to consume itself. You can die from drinking too much water. Pain can exist in limbs that no longer exist, yet through it all, you feel whole. Your sense of self is a fragile illusion, a pattern repeated by neurons rather than a fixed entity. Your body is also astonishingly adaptable. Humans have survived deserts without water, climbed mountains that should have been impossible, and thrived at altitudes that starve the lungs. Your lungs, muscles, and heart adjust in ways that seem almost miraculous. The body is designed to endure, and yet every day is a quiet gamble with death. Even your senses deceive you. You see, hear, and feel only a fraction of what exists. Your perception filters the world, creating stability, yet reality is far more chaotic. Pain exists to protect you, pleasure to encourage survival, and yet both can mislead. Your perception of reality is always incomplete, and the most astonishing fact, almost every cell in your body will be replaced every 7 to 10 years. The you that feels continuous is constantly dying and rebuilding itself. Your identity is a fleeting pattern, emerging from ceaseless biochemical processes. The human body mirrors the Earth itself, fragile, resilient, astonishingly complex, and filled with mysteries that defy understanding. Every heartbeat, every breath, every neural impulse is a reminder that survival is both extraordinary and precarious. As we move from the planet to ourselves, one truth becomes clear: Earth is strange. But the most intricate, mysterious, and shocking world exists within each of us. Our bodies, our ecosystems, machines, and living archives of survival, all at once. And understanding this brings a sobering realization. If our planet can surprise us, and our bodies can surprise us, then the future which we are only beginning to glimpse may be the most astonishing and most dangerous reality of all. We have explored the strange Earth, the chaotic history of humanity, impossible places, and the astonishing machinery of our own bodies. But the world continues to move forward faster than we can imagine. The future didn't ask for permission, and it is already arriving. Technology grows at a speed that makes human comprehension almost laughably slow. Machines can now think in ways that mimic intelligence, predict patterns, and even create works of art. Artificial intelligence is no longer science fiction, it is embedded in our phones, our homes, and the data that shapes every decision we make. The line between human and machine is blurring. Algorithms determine what we see, what we buy, who we trust. Autonomous machines explore oceans, skies, and even outer space, performing tasks that once required human intuition. And yet, as these tools grow smarter, our understanding of them lags behind. We create systems that operate beyond our full comprehension, handing over control while assuming safety. The future is also biological. Genetic engineering, synthetic life, and organ printing are no longer hypothetical. The human body, which survived millennia of chaos and extreme conditions, can now be rewritten, enhanced, and redesigned. Diseases may one day be eliminated before birth, aging, delayed, or even reversed. But with these possibilities come consequences we may not foresee: new forms of inequality, unintended mutations, and ethical dilemmas that no law or tradition has prepared us for. Even now, the world watches silently. Satellites, sensors, and networks collect unimaginable amounts of data. Every movement, every transaction, every heartbeat can be monitored. Privacy is no longer a promise, it is a memory. And the planet itself, already unpredictable, will continue to evolve alongside us, indifferent to the choices we make. As humans, we have survived disasters, wars, plagues, and the wildest extremes of nature. We have conquered oceans, built cities, and unraveled the secrets of DNA. But the future is not a guarantee. It is a vast, unknown landscape, full of opportunity, danger, and uncertainty. And it will arrive whether we are ready or not. Somewhere deep in code or hidden in a lab, the next leap in intelligence is forming. Machines may predict our behavior, optimize our lives, or even surpass our understanding of reality. We will be forced to adapt, just as we adapted to deserts, mountains, famine, and disease. Survival will take a new form, not just of body or mind, but of awareness itself. And yet, for all its strangeness and danger, the future is still ours to navigate. Every decision, every innovation, every exploration shapes what comes next. The earth is strange. Our bodies are miraculous. History is chaotic, and the future is already unfolding whether we notice it or not. We may never fully understand the world we live in, or the one we are creating. But one truth remains. Reality is stranger than we can imagine. And the only certainty is that it will continue to astonish us at every turn.